This right here is something a lot of you have been asking me to get, and I finally got one for you. What's up, guys? Welcome back. A lot of you keep asking me what should be your first fit scale gas RC. This right here is my recommendation to you. If you guys remember, in the summer when I picked up my Primal RC Raminator, I also picked up this King Motors Baja. This particular one, I haven't even taken it out of the box. Right now, it's kind of in a half-unboxing state, just so we can get a look at the way it's actually boxed. This is, for me, I think kind of interesting. There's a special surprise in here. What does the box say? Oh, Fuelie 30.5 cc. Let's check it out. I'm not gonna keep you guys waiting, you know, because I'm not that guy. Oh man, it looks like a Baja. Holy moly, there's a lot of aluminum in the front. Look at that pipe, yeah. Look at that aluminum. There you go. I'm not gonna keep you guys waiting and guessing. It's a King Motors. That's right. So how many fit scale RCs can a Prius fit? At least 2. But I know if someone gave me another one, I think Joe Camp should give me another one. There could definitely be a whole lot more in here. The only 2 things you don't see here are these instructions. King Motors provides very detailed break-in instructions here and pretty good detailed setup instructions in their manual. Very good for a beginner. I remember back when I got my 30cc Rovin Baja, which is basically a similar engine as this, the same exact chassis, although this is much more upgraded. It has a lot better features. We're gonna go over the features later when I take it out of the box. Just want to give you a little bit of background and history. King Motors, in my opinion, compared to Rovin, is like a Lexus and a Toyota. They're both basically similar, and parts are interchangeable between any HPI Baja of any variation. Now, the King Motors always had slightly better equipment. This particular one is currently $550. I'm going to give you guys a 5% coupon code for King Motors. Make sure you apply it to your cart. I just checked, it is valid on this model, and you can get this thing for a little bit over $500. When you look at all the features, when I take this out, and I'm going to unbox in a little bit, when you see what you get here, you pretty much will probably agree that this is the best price Baja variant you can get. Now sure, Rovin does sell motors that are slightly larger displacement than this in some of their Bajas. Yes, that's true. But you know what? My 30cc Rovin Baja, which is basically the same engine as this, has enough power to hit 44 miles per hour stock, and it has enough power to pull a damn Christmas tree. Take a look at some of these clips. If that doesn't convince you that a 30.5cc engine is enough, well, I honestly don't know what will. A lot of people like the larger displacement engines, the 45s, the 36s, they're great, but the thing is, the smaller 30cc engine, a 32, they make very good high RPM. For me, RPM is where it's at. Honestly, I think the 30.5cc engine on my current Rovin Baja is already too much. It literally shreds the tires on pavement and asphalt. I mean, I don't know why you would want more torque. I think this is the best alternative in terms of cost and equipment that you get for a beginner, even for anyone that already has Bajas. Do you see all the stuff that's included? There's like little compartments all over. This is the radio, the wing, we have the fuel mixing can right here, we have some additional tools and air filter foam elements, and instructions obviously right over here, and some other tools lying around. The only thing you need to get this running other than batteries for the remote is the pre-mix fuel. Now I run regular 93 octane fuel from any gas station, and I run a 2-stroke synthetic racing oil like this. There are many other types of oils. Let me show you actually the couple that I have. This is Redline, these are a couple of Clots, and this is Castor 927. I've pretty much done testing on all of them, and I've determined that this Klotz Benol, which is 100% degummed castor oil, is What are the most ideal? It smells very good. It has a slight red tint, so when you mix it in your fuel can with gasoline, you can actually see it in this clear fuel can. So guys, this is something I highly recommend. You can get on Amazon. It's fairly cheap. A quart like this will literally last me, I would say, about a year. Now, I don't run that much at a single time because I have so many RCs, but either way, just so you have an understanding of the running cost of a fit scale RC compared to a nitro, this gallon of nitro fuel is about $40. Now, of course, depending on how often you run, yeah, you're gonna wind up using more or less. The running cost is one of the main reasons that people even get into fit scale RCs. Nitro is not the cheapest, but they're also, completely different. It's hard to compare. When you drive a fit scale gas RC, you're probably gonna understand why people get hooked on these. When I got my first roving Baja, well, I already was thinking about getting another one. And guys, here's my next one. Let's do this unboxing, top-down view. First, I want to point out for any beginners, this right here, this is like your fit scale noob Bible. When I first started out, I read the instructions Rovin typed up themselves, and King Motors, of course. And guys, this is, as I said, your fit scale Bible. All of your instructions step by step are clearly outlined in order. Your break-in procedure is outlined in order. Everything is very good. I followed this step by step and I had absolutely no problems. It's hard to tell, but right here where I'm pointing, it says 25-1. It is highly recommended that you use a 25-1 mix to break in your motor. We have our battery charger. Let's take a look at it. It's a very basic wall battery charger, but you know what? These are extremely helpful and useful. You don't even have to take the included 3000 milliamp pack out of the car to actually charge it. Some of the accessories include the wheel wrench. This thing uses 24mm wheel hubs, very useful. We have an extra additional foam filter. You can oil this, stick this on the car, so technically you have a spare because the car already has one right over there on the carb already attached. We have our spark plug wrench and a couple extra tools. We have a full set of Allen keys, just in case you don't already have them. This already includes it. Kind of a nice touch as well. Here is our wing. Goes on the back like this. Pretty obvious, right? And our included hardware to mount the wing itself. Next up, radio. This is what most people really care about. We have a very nice 3-channel radio. This has 10 model memory, so you can basically get up to 9 other receivers, put them in any of your RCs, and then you could use the same radio for all of your RCs. What's great is you're only running 4 AA's here, so you're saving a lot of money on AA's alone. You have a nice steering wheel with a foam grip here, and this thing has 3 channels. Now, why do I say 3 channels is really important? And if you haven't heard me say it, it's very important. The reason is you could always install a remote kill switch on these things. That is one of the top upgrades people do right out of the box. Pretty much no fit scale RC other than the Primal MT includes a factory kill switch, and this one is no different. But a simple upgrade, you could still use this factory radio system for the 3rd channel capabilities, and that is an A+ in my book. Right, looks like nothing is left other than the car. Time to remove the plastic and see the beauty. First impressions, guys, I'm very, very happy. This thing looks killer. So this color is what they call wild orange. Clearly the aluminum is orange. The body is black and orange. There is a second color available called wild gray. This is a nice looking color. The gray one is also a nice looking color, but I like this one. Guys, the shocks are very smooth. I'm honestly kind of surprised. One of the main issues people complain about with, any kind of clone RC is the fact that the shocks are not that soft. Here, I could tell you, they are really well dampened. I'm honestly very, very surprised. That's right, it's finally on the table, guys. We can give it a final good look. Man, I gotta say, it is very, very impressive in real life. There are just so many good looking parts, but you know what? It's not just about the good looks. This model actually has a lot of very usable features. Sure, it has a lot of anodized aluminum parts that look fantastic, but just these tires and wheels alone are very good all-terrain rubber wheels. They're very good for speed runs, because they have a relatively flat surface here, and they're very good for some dirt. The exhaust, guys, look at the exhaust. This is what they call a King Motors Thor pipe. Not sure what that means, but it's a dual exhaust system. I always liked the fact that King Motors had their unique creative exhaust. This is pretty much very specific to the entire King Motors lineup. I don't think Roven has a pipe that has this. Very good looking two-piece pipe. Reminds me honestly of the HPI Baja SS style exhaust. What's really cool about this model, not only the fact that it looks good on the outside with the aluminum, with the upgrades, with the dual exhaust pipe, and of course the colors, but it actually has functional upgrades that we can't even tell. This has an aluminum diff case with hardened steel gears. Now I know for a fact that a lot of people use the diffs out of these models for drag racing. The King Motors diffs are some of the better ones for drag racing, and they're fairly cheap and accessible. You know, parts for these things are really available. You know, this is one of those things, once again, why I am recommending a Baja style vehicle for your first gas RC. Now, this is a really good value model, highly upgraded, but it also accepts parts from every King Motors, from every Roven, from every HPI. But to be honest with you, a lot of people say, hey, what can I upgrade right out of the box? I'm looking at it. I don't really see anything that you need upgrading right away, to be honest with you. This already has nylon arms. The arms are very good already as it is. It has a full complement of aluminum where it needs to be. A lot of people like to put on all these extra aluminum parts, but that stuff really weighs your car down. This has, in my opinion, the optimal mix of, you know, functionality, weight, good looks, and value. So, engine-wise, 30.5 cc rated at 4+ horsepower, speed-wise rated at 40+ miles per hour. I can confirm these are very accurate claims because I basically have the same exact engine and I met and exceeded that 40 mile per hour speed claim. If you ever wanted to go faster, oh man, just hit my head, this thing is so big. Either way, if you ever wanted to go faster, just get yourself like a $30 set of speed gears. Roven King Motors sells them. eBay, the seller Roven, sells them as well. Put the speed gears in, you just have a pinion and a spur gear, boom. That's good for about 5 to 6 miles per hour. That's still maintaining a single gear. A lot of people sometimes upgrade to a 2-speed. In that case, this thing is going to be flying, but you could probably hit close to 50 miles an hour with a single speed. This motor will be adequate when well tuned and running good oil and good fuel. Let's talk wheels and more aluminum. Guess what? Wheels are great. Aluminum hub carriers are great and good looking. 24mm standard wheel hubs as usual. But I just wanted to give you guys a comparison to some of the standard wheels that are included in a Roven. These are the factory wheels from my 30cc model. Just look at these compared side by side. These are much bigger. The tread is enormous. These hook up really well in grass, to be honest with you, but once you drive this on pavement, this is going to be gone. It's going to be like 2 runs. It's going to be flat. What's great is at least these are all bead locks. This is one of the main things that is great about Fitscale RCs. No more gluing wheels, no more gluing nothing. Just remove the bead lock ring on the outside here with these screws. There's foam inside. You can change the rubber. You can do whatever you want. They basically all use exactly the same rim design. The King Motor tires are actually even taller than the Roven tires. This is actually really good because this model could easily pull taller and wider and heavier rubber. This is a pretty powerful motor in my opinion. In fact, I upgraded the tires on my Roven and I'm running fairly tall tires and it does just fine. This style of tread is honestly my favorite because of their very long wear characteristics, because clearly the tread is enormous. I would say this is close to like, you know, a 1/4 inch. Look at that. I could literally roll this wheel nut in there, no problem at all. The tires alone here, one of the main reasons I also got this. The front has a whole bunch of very important upgrades. People actually make these on their cars, really important. You have a shock tower brace, shock tower supports, and an aluminum shock tower itself. So basically the whole front end, where you need it to be stiff, is very stiff. Let me show you the best thing about the electronic system in this. It's very easy to charge. Just use their included charger, as I said before, with the Tamiya plug. Lift this thing right over here. Boom, stick in the Tamiya connector. Let it do its thing. You don't even have to remove the battery from the receiver case. I mean, this could not be any easier than this already is. I put some batteries in the remote. Let me put it on. We're gonna test out the electronics. There's a nice LCD readout, a whole bunch of controls here. This is already paired, so we shouldn't have a problem. When you put the car on, I haven't charged anything, keep in mind. This is literally as it's been shipped. Did nothing at all. Look at that. Man. Seems good to me. I have no problems. Throttle works. Brakes work. Everything work. Let's see if the failsafe is set. I'm going to turn this off. Okay. Yeah, the brakes are fully applied. Even the failsafe is set from the factory. I mean, you know, how could you go wrong? This is literally foolproof. Okay, remote is now back on. That's it. Failsafe is off. The car actually moves back and forth. Very good system. I don't see any issues with this at all. As long as nothing happens through your throttle servo, which is a 20 kilogram unit, you're not gonna have a problem. Steering wise, you have a 35 kilogram servo in this bad boy. And this is not even fully charged, so I'm not even gonna worry about that right now. Make sure you get yourself one of these because this is like being in the Hells Angels. You can't join the motorcycle gang culture with a Kawasaki or a Yamaha. You're gonna be made fun of, you know what I'm saying? Get yourself the original OG King Motors right over here just like I did, and we're all gonna be friends. I'm just kidding, guys. This is just another variant, a really good option model. I'm very satisfied with the price on this, the price point, the options you get. Mainly, the cool looking Thor exhaust. I mean, look at that exhaust. It's a freaking dual exhaust system, guys. Everybody wants dual exhaust. That's just how it is in this world. The more expensive your car is, the more exhaust pipes you have. I think Cadillac learned their lesson years ago, back when they kept putting on quad exhaust on every single DeVille. But hey, that's neither here or there. Guys, please comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of this. And if you're gonna be getting one. This Baja is so soft, I could probably fall asleep on it like this.